Hey gamers, what's up? We got two new cookies added to the game today, and I pulled Rockstar cookie this morning. I haven't pulled the other one yet, but we'll talk about both their abilities, what I think about them, since their full kits are released now. I've actually went and used Rockstar a little bit. Both of the cookies do have one major flaw though, which we'll talk about when we get there. They do have one big flaw though that I can see killing them off completely. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about both the cookies now, guys. Starting off with Rockstar cookies themselves. We already know what the skill does, guys. As a basic rundown, what it does, guys, is it gives a crit buff for the whole team. He heals the team. He does an encore when he dies to do one extra heal for the team here. And yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the scalings now. So guys, he's going to be healing 32% for every second up to 7 seconds. Legendary Rock Spirit's going to be healing HP every 11% of Rockstar Cookie's attack for 5 crit hits, active for 13 seconds. Curse Protection removes itself upon applying a curse debuff, active for 13 seconds. Crit is plus 7% per every 1% of Rockstar Cookie's crit increase with toppings for 13 seconds, capped at 35%. Received healing encore plus 35% for 10 seconds. Bonus healing encore 30.9% for every 0.1 seconds for 1.8 seconds. So yeah, guys, he does a pretty massive amount of healing here, guys. I'm not even going to sit here and cope out and say he does a massive amount of healing. But let's go ahead and talk about the major flaw of this cookie, guys. As you can see, he's a healer. But as you can also see, he is a middle line cookie. And with how you have to build him into crit and attack, that doesn't bode well for him. He literally dies in 0.5 seconds. I am literally running him on full almond right now, and I shit you not, he dies he dies like he's the first cookie to die. Every single time he is the first cookie to die. He just gets clapped super easily because he is a middle line. So he's getting targeted by most attacks. And with how you have to build him to make him the most efficient he can be, you have to build him into crit and attack, which just doesn't bode well. So this really only makes him, I would even say, like really viable for like a speed comp team, if that. I don't know, man. His healing is great, like I said. He was out healing PV and Snapdragon Cookie, but he dies super quick, so that healing goes away near the end of the match, whereas they keep healing because either they're not dying at all, they can't die, or they're in the back line, so they're not getting targeted as much. But as far as how I am running him today, guys, we are running him with full almonds here, really with a focus on trying to get some attack to get some extra healing off, some damage resist, and you want to try to get some crit as well. I'll probably change this set around, but I don't know. Basically, let me show you what happens whenever you take him into an arena match. We'll take him in a match against Mr. Carrot Man here. This will show off how good he does in an arena match. This will basically just show how quick he dies here, because he does die really quick. This is gonna be a matchup against a Snapdragon Cookie. So yeah, you'll see. All right, guys, let's see what the timer's at by the time he dies. Look how much damage he's already taken. This is with him running full almonds, guys. He is already almost dead in under 30 seconds. He's actually gonna, I think he's gonna activate his encore. Yeah, he's gonna activate his encore now soon, which basically does the curse removal. He does a little bit of extra healing, and then he's dead. After this, guys, it is up to your team to win the match. He is dying before the 1 minute mark, guys, which is not good for your team, because if he dies before the 1 minute mark, this is where the enemy team and your team is going to be doing the most damage. You really need him to survive and maybe even die at that 1 minute mark, so you are getting that attack buff. Because you know the 1 minute mark does give an attack buff up, guys. It would be giving him more healing. The problem is he can't even survive to that point to give that off, because he's a middle line cookie, so he's just getting hit by every single attack thrown at him. Taking a look at his healing now, guys, as you can see, he did 5.3 million healing, and he only received 262k of that healing. That means he's not receiving any healing from himself, because how do you get healing with him? You have to crit. And the way you build him, you can't afford to really build into crit, because he dies so early anyways. But with my breakdown of Rockstar Cookie, guys, let's go ahead and talk about the new Super Epic now. The new Super Epic we got, with also a pretty big flaw that I think, well, we won't see them that much in Arena because of it. But I could be wrong, though, because their skill looks nice in theory, but now, I don't have the new cookie, guys, right? I've seen a lot of gameplay of this cookie, though. Whether it comes from watching other streamers fight off against this cookie, talking to people in the community about people facing this cookie, and it seems like there's one main flaw that comes across every time I talk about this cookie to other people in the community, is that their ability only has a limited range, meaning whenever they use their skill, it only goes out so far. So if you're using someone like a Holly Berry or someone like a Purple Yam, and you knock them back and they use their skill's not hitting anyone on your team. And that's really bad considering you need them to zap the enemies, because at this point now, they're not even zapping PV, they're not zapping any of your backline, or even sometimes your middle line they're not even zapping. It's really just the front line sometimes that they're zapping, which means you remove the HP shield. But let's just go ahead and talk about her skill real quick, guys. As a basic breakdown of what her skill does, guys, is she'll be dispelling all debuffs from herself. She uses her ability to buff all allies and deal damage to enemies. She ignores the target's damage resist and zaps them, which means she removes their shield. She'll also be giving a crit damage resist buff to the whole team as well. Talking about like the scalings and stuff like that now, Glitter Song single hit damage 40% of attack. Glitter Rock Spirit allies, crit damage risk 17.5% for 10 seconds. Glittering Rock Spirit itself is going to be giving crit damage risk plus 35%. Damage risk bypass is if you crit, it's going to be bypassing 35% of damage risk. Zap is going to be doing 45.5% of damage every 1 second for 13 seconds. Stacks up to 3 and removes HP shield. Crit damage risk is going to be 15% for 8 seconds upon dealing 12 times critical hits with Glittering Song. Now, guys, crit damage risk to be is not that strong, I don't think anyways. I just think a general damage resist buff would be better for her rather than giving a crit damage resist. Like, I understand why they're doing it because the character itself stands for giving crit damage, but overall, I mean, a lot of cookies don't even run that much crit in their kits, and sure, crit is not fun to play against in arena if you get hit with a crit, but I mean, just this doesn't block or mitigate any other damage. Which is kind of down bad. Now, the damage itself is not bad at all, guys. We'll go ahead and just hop into a match against Princess here. I know Princess has the new Super Epic, just to kind of show off, like, what the new cookie is doing in terms of damage goes, because, you know, like I said, I don't have them yet. I think their damage does do nice, but like I said, if they get knocked back, especially if you see where they're at right now, if you knock them back too far, the backline cookies actually are not going to be getting hit with any of that ability. So if you keep knocking them back and your timing is good with Holly Berry, like if you're running a full cooldown Holly Berry, then they won't really see that much damage, I'm not gonna lie to you, in the backline, that is, anyways, because they're not getting hit with that zap. I was watching a Copsor stream earlier, and he was just destroying comps because his Holly Berry, of course, is full raspberry, I mean full almonds. I don't run full almonds on, I don't run full swifts on mine, but yeah, it was just destroying comps because their Super Epic couldn't hit anyone because they were too far back in the back to be hit. Taking a look at the damage here, guys, look at that, 5.8 million damage from their new Starlight cookie. I don't even know the name of it for real. The new Super Epic here, 5.8 million damage. Not bad at all as terms of damage goes, guys. And yeah, I mean, like I said before, it's a pretty good, like, cookie to run, except if you're facing anyone with, like, a Holly Berry or a Purple Yam, then it might be kind of scuffed. So guys, should you summon for these cookies? On Rockstar, guys, I think Rockstar is a good choice if you plan on getting him 5A, because I think he might be able to survive if you give him the 5A just because of all the base stat increases. But that's pretty far to go for most free-to-play players to get for a 5A cookie. I think it's a much better option just to run Snapdragon on that team and call it a day. So for Rockstar cookie, I'd only consider summoning, like I said, if you're planning on getting him like really high Ascension, really high like 4A, 5A. That's the only way I could recommend summoning for him. Shining Glitter, I mean, you'll just get her by summoning, so I mean, you'll probably get her eventually because, oh, I don't know, the Super Epic Gacha is kind of cringe, kind of down bad, but you'll probably get her, right? Surely. If you do get her, I mean, build her. I mean, I think she can be pretty good in a lot of situations. She provides a pretty decent amount of damage, not as much as Pattaya, and surely not as much as Madeline Cookie. I still think Madeline is still going to be the king of arena as far as damage goes, so I mean, you take that how you will. But yeah, that's really going to do it for today's video, guys. Hope everyone enjoyed, and tell me what your thoughts on these cookies, if you've used them, your experience with the cookies so far, and teams you've used them on, and how well they worked. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Hope everyone enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one later. Bye-bye.